Bismillah. Today's word is da'wah. Da'wah comes from the meaning of to invite or to call or to summon. Within the context of our deen, it's an invite back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to call people back into that which is real. And one of the beautiful things as a convert to Islam is that in a classical teaching, it really resonates because it's not calling you away to something which is new. It's actually calling you back to something which deep down your soul has known all along. It's deen al-fitra. It's calling you back to the way of your innermost essence. And for that reason, there should be a resonance. Now, as conduits to this process, the Prophet ﷺ gave us an example. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ. Say that this is my way. This is my way. I call to Allah. So in accordance to our following and mimicking and resembling the states and the realities and the behavior and the character of the Prophet ﷺ, so too will be our effect in being called by Allah to be conduits to summon people back to that light, to be conduits of guidance. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. You don't guide who you want, rather Allah guides who He wills. And ultimately it's an honor for us to be involved in this process, to be chosen ultimately, to be called. And this is a manifestation of what they call an idhn. In another ayah, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّبِيُّ إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ شَاهِدًا وَمُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا. O Prophet, indeed we have sent you as a witness and as a bearer of glad tidings and as a warner, وَدَاعِيًا إِلَى اللَّهِ, and a caller back to God. Somebody that called Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in everything that he did, in his movements, in his stillness, in his words, in his silence, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. A heart that was so filled with light that anybody that frequented his company was touched, and ultimately it resonated from the depths of their soul and called them back to that which was real. وَدَاعِيًا إِلَى اللَّهِ بِإِذْنِهِ, and somebody that's summoned to God بِإِذْنِهِ, with this idhn, this sacred license. So in accordance to our closeness to the Prophet ﷺ and to the people of Sened, and that have been authorized and that have had these states poured over them and into them, then we start to mimic this this reality that the Prophet ﷺ had, and we become lights that walk amongst people. This is something which needs reviving in our homes. The first people that we call are ourselves. If we're not convincing ourselves, we're not going to be very convincing to other people. We need to be call people in our communities and call all of mankind. So the way we start by doing that is to be people of that are a bit more intentional. When we go out of our homes, when we smile at people, if we hold the door open for someone, just to be aware of these things. We were with a sister that took her shahada the other day, and the impetus which caused her to actually take her shahada as she saw a Muslim lady riding on a bus, and she was so inspired. She said, I want to be like that person. And then it dawned upon her, I can be like that person. So never think small. If you're carrying a light as a believer, activate it by being intentional. Activate it by learning about the Prophet ﷺ and how he would call with gentleness and with wisdom. So this is da'wah. May Allah allow us to be people of da'wah that call ourselves, allow ourselves to be called back to Allah and to be conduits to call back to Him. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.